my bad. No,
That's,
my bad. It wasn't dirty. I mean, it wasn't 40.
I was the
Me and
day
40
before.
did one by ourselves, and then yesterday it was UQ. So we acknowledge you, man. So right now we are live. We are live, gentlemen. We are live. So I'm gonna go ahead and admit Soko in, and we're gonna go ahead and start towing the line. Your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, they all was there when you left. You right. Your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, they all fall was in there now. When you come left. On, fall in. Dress right, dress. We gonna toe the line. We gonna unmute yourself, Jason. We gonna toe the line. Your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, they all was there when you left. Your mama, your daddy, hey, y'all think I'm playing? Come on, now. Hey, fall in line. Y'all know what time it is. Trying to toe the line. I see you. But we can't.
all right, I'm getting
There
there.
we go. There we go. There we go. There we go.
What's going on, my man?
What's going on? What's going on?
Sokolowski.
So
What's going on with you, man?
Working, bro. Working.
Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what we all gotta do, man.
oh yeah, all gotta put that grind in.
How my city treating you?
Oh, man, I love Savannah. I do. I absolutely love damn Savannah.
Total line. Man, say that again. Say I love Savannah.
Oh, I love Savannah. It's a blast.
Man, you ain't had no country accent.
I still don't have a country accent, man.
Nah, that's why I asked you to say it again.
Oh, I got you. No, Saturday going to the Savannah Bananas game, man. That shit's wild too.
Yeah.
Okay. So, welcome to first and foremost, man. Welcome to our Total Line platform. And everybody on here, you should be familiar with. We got Deron Fortson, 40. We got Frederick Wilson, Dirty Rice. We got Lonnie Lewis, Booth. We got Q. And we got my main man, Antonio Del Vecchio Howard, man. So that's it.
Oh shit, what's up, all y'all? Damn, long time.
Yeah. So how's going on right now, Soko? We are streaming live to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. All right. So in order for us to keep total command and control of our Total Line platform, you're the only guest that's inside of Zoom, but the public can view what's going on social media. It should be like right now, if you got another device that you can go on YouTube or you can go on my Facebook page, you'll see what's going on. And it is about like a 20 to 30-second delay. All right.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and officially welcome you in with some applause. We trying to do a little something, but anyway, let's go ahead and get down to the. Well, before we get started, I'm gonna share my background. I'm from Miami, Florida. Born and raised. Raised in a two-parent household. We didn't have much. Stayed in a three-bedroom, one-bathroom house. I went to inner city school, predominantly black neighborhood. We made do with what we had. We wasn't rich. We wasn't poor. I didn't want for nothing. So I didn't struggle per se like other people, maybe like my neighbors or people used to come to our house. We always had stuff in the refrigerator or whatever. Our house was like a sanctuary. People could come over, play in the yard or whatever. Did kind of like grow up in a rough neighborhood, so to speak. They call it Robin Hood now. Just to give it like some context or whatever. Joined the military, stayed in the military for 24 and a half years, and got out the military. And well, while I was in the military, I met a bunch of gentlemen that I still consider brothers, and I think you one of them. Which kind of led to me inviting you onto our Total Line podcast. But before we get into that, we also want to give you the opportunity to share your background with us and the audience that may or may not be watching right now.
Yeah, most definitely. So, grew up in East Side Cleveland, inner city as well. In the minority of where I grew up. Same thing, extremely blue collar family. Father worked, it was paycheck to paycheck, but same thing. We didn't go without. My mother, if you ever seen that show, that 70s show, she is a spitting image of she is in her own world, but she is taking care of everybody. Wanted to go into culinary school. Wasn't happening. I didn't have the grades. I was a knucklehead. Went into the military. That's where I met most of y'all right out of basic training. Me being, smart mouth, kid, but absolute go getter. Got to go to Germany. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Kosovo. From there, volunteered to go over there with 54th. Came back, went to Texas. The whole in processing in Texas was hey, go to CIF. We about to go to Iraq. So I was in Iraq from 03 to 04, 05 to 06, 07 to 09. Afghanistan 2012, 2013. Got to come up the ranks. It was something I was really good at, something I really loved. Got to eventually come and be the first sergeant there at 74th. Did my first time, loved it, absolutely loved it. But also saw that us as NCOs, we are there to enforce the policy, but not write it. My time in IG, I got to see that it was a bunch of colonels that had been removed from the battlefield for quite some time that were making these policies and procedures. And I knew it was my time. The crazy thing is when you do 20 years, you always hear those old cats say, when it's your time because you're going to wake up, your heart ain't into it. And I woke up and I still had, plenty of time left in the military, but my heart wasn't into it. And, transition and got into construction and doing absolutely well. So I guess that would be kind of the background of my story.
All right. Well, yeah, that was a good background. For us to learn a little bit more about you. So I want to ask a couple of questions and just be totally transparent. I felt a certain way when I read your post. I know you could see that statement that you posted above my head right now. And mainly I felt a certain way because I felt as though, we served together in the military. And like you said, you went and worked for IG. So to me, that is a statement, and you was a leader. You know you made it to
Mhm.
um, first sergeant. You know, so you was the top dog in at 814, and I don't think that is a statement that would have uh, went well if that was something that you would have said while you were still in the military, especially as a first sergeant, especially as a platoon sergeant, especially as a sharp rep, or is it a difference between IG and a sharp rep, or
Yeah,
what's
most definitely.
what's the
Uh,
difference?
so Sharp is all about the sexual
Sexual
harassment
harassment.
policy,
Okay.
and IG is more inspector general,
Inspector general,
kind of looking
anything
into
that
the
happens.
weeds and digging into why things are working, why things aren't working.
Okay, okay. For some reason, I thought you went sharp. I thought it, for some reason, but you clarified it was IG. But and I kind of posted something in lieu of that just to get to see what the reaction was going to be. Basically, we had a conversation amongst ourselves, and we kind of segue into what do we consider ourselves? Well, we was talking about politics, and we was talking about who we voted for and
Mhm.
why we didn't vote for them, or why we did vote for them, yada yada yada. But it led to the fact that we are considered how do we consider ourselves? African Americans, Black Americans, because believe it or not, I guess it's the difference between the African American and the Black American, or whatever. Or some people consider themselves one or the other, or are we just Americans? And then some people did comment up under that little reel that we did, and wanted us and said that why don't we just consider ourselves Americans?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So when you made that statement that if you are a hardworking Christian, heterosexual, sexual white man who loves the United States, you do not have to apologize for shit.
Mhm.
So can you elaborate on that from a personal experience? You know, how do
Uh,
how what made you ask that question?
so I'll tell you right now that my personal feelings is that um, it really seems like the heterosexual, white, working class, gun toting males are public enemy number one. And it just seems like there's a perception out there that you woke up today, you're white. What do you got to be mad about? And
So
it's just one of those things that I said because you shouldn't have to feel that just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right. And there is a big stigma that just comes with being all those things that I just said, and that you should apologize for that. You should have some kind of white guilt. And I just don't believe in that. And to make your point, you guys, I watched that show with the Black Americans, the African Americans. And I liked it. And I liked it. Everyone had their different perspective. Um, but I also think that, and I kind of fell into my own trap. Um, how do we stop racism? Stop talking about it. Stop making it more than it is. Um, I don't absolutely agree with all these months going to specific individuals and things like that. I think it's important, but I also think that Pacific Island American Month. This is all U.S. history. Like this is who we are as a country, and we really do need to really believe that this is American history.
Okay. So from what I heard, you said that I'm trying to, understand it more. That because at first you said just a white male.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, no, no. I mean, no. Take it back. You didn't say white male. You said
Mhm.
you said male, and then I believe so. You didn't say white at first. You just said a male, and then you said wake up white that you shouldn't have to apologize. I may have missed it because I was trying to do something else, and in the back of the house. But so I'm gonna ask any you guys. I don't want us to feel like we jumping so cold and under.
No, no, no,
No,
absolutely.
no, no, no. I'm finna ask if any of one of these guys have a question to your how you feel, what you just said.
I think Tony had a question first, so go ahead, Tony.
Oh, no, so no, I was chatting to you about the question we was getting to, like the information. No, no. So I guess the only thing that I would ask about that is like is speaking about those months that we celebrate the different cultures, right?
Yeah.
I think that became a forced issue because in my mind, those cultures wasn't getting recognized for their contribution to America and what made America the melting pot that it started out being. And so I guess you say you don't think that we should celebrate those situations?
No, no, no. I do, but I think it's a little bit ridiculous that we regulate all those specific histories to 1 month. It should be American history year round.
Okay. I was just trying to understand that part right there.
Yes,
Thanks.
sir.
My question is, did you write that statement when it prompt what the President Obama, what happened when President Obama and the First Lady face was on the meme that came out? But I mean, I know I know you are a strong person within yourself, and you would have made that statement, but the statement didn't come out until I feel the statement didn't come out until everybody was telling the administration to take it down and apologize.
Oh no, 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 no. It's just one of those things where I didn't even pay attention to that, brother.
All right.
It's one of those things where there's ignorant people. I didn't agree with what was put out about the Obamas. It's ignorance, and you can't defend ignorance. I hope no one else supports ignorance. But no, it was nothing to do with that, and I completely disagree with anything that came out, about that. That shouldn't be happening to a former president.
Gotcha. All right.
So I mean, me and you went back and forth on a couple of different things, and I just like to do
What?
the dialogue that we go, I just do it just to get the dialogue with different people,
Me
just
too.
different perspectives of everything. But I'm thinking like jumping back to the thing of celebrating different cultures is within the
Mhm.
United States that made the United States what the United States is, what we are today. You know what I'm saying? Even though a
Yeah,
lot of times, uh, politics have splitting up the United States lately for the last,
most definitely. Yeah.
10, 15, maybe 20 years. A lot of us didn't really care to talk politics, but if we did, it was in small groups, and I got it. Social media pushes those agendas now. Um, So what is your overall perspective on how the politics are going today?
Oh, so I'm glad that you asked that. I really do. That's a really good question because I think that you have 15% that are far left, and it is girls are loyal or boys are allowed in girls' sports and things like that. And there's a lot of violence being put on by that side. And then you have the far right. I think there's 15%, and y'all kind of make fun of it. I'm a big MAGA supporter just because I like the fact that he runs this as a country, but I wouldn't say I'm so far right. So that leaves the 70% of us that are in the middle that we just want to talk, and we don't necessarily identify with one side. We don't necessarily identify with the other side. And it's, conversations like this that just kickstart the understanding, the blending of what's best for the people. At the end of the day, you're gonna do what's best for yourself and your situation and your family. Um, and whichever way that you vote, you shouldn't be, uh, I guess, looked down upon um, for having those views if you can support and defend them. If that's what your beliefs are, that's fine. But there doesn't need to be any violence. There doesn't need to be any back and forth. And it's just we're at a point right now where you're right. Social media is absolutely destroying not just us as grown ass men, but children that have no other source of information than what they see on social media. So, great question. Absolutely love it. But I believe I'm in that 70% that just wants to do what's best for America.
So I guess my follow-up thing, and we talk about this, me and Tony talk, we together all the time. So um, do you feel like JD Vance, for example, it's a national Christian movement, but they're putting uh color behind it, you know what I'm saying? My feeling is if you're a Christian, you're a Christian. It shouldn't be a white Christian, a black Christian,
Mm,
it's just Christians all together. You know what I'm saying? But now you're starting to hear a white national Christian or national white Christians or some stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And they're a part of the white national movement or something, like um what's the guy that just was murdered, uh
Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk, he was big on that white national movement. Do you believe in that? Or do you just say everybody's Christian? Just like we say everybody's American. Everybody, like conservative. Like I don't connect being a conservative to a Republican. If you got values and morals, uh, a lot of us got conservative values. You know what I'm saying? Don't mean that I'm a Republican or a Democrat or whatever
Right.
you are. So you elaborate on anything that I just said. So
What is y'all's opinion of Charlie Kirk?
um my opinion is like, I follow a lot of that stuff, but you know, some of that stuff that he used to speak on, like the 33% of crime rates and things like that, he didn't account for a lot of different things, exonerations and things like that. And if you just hear it, you would think that a lot of that stuff is right, but it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I got it. He was the mediator of those conversations. And I thought that if he would have not just talked to, college student, hell, some of those can't even name every capital in the states like we was taught when we were little. But but you talking to kids. And I think in the beginning it was more for reactions. You know what I'm saying? And he did have a good conversation. You might have some kids that know a little something, but a lot of those statistics that he was, there's a lot of stuff that go with those statistics. You know what I'm saying? We can break it down
Mhm.
smaller than what he was talking about. Like I said, exonerations and things that wasn't counted in the 30% of black males, you know what I'm saying? As far as the murder rate and things like that.
To me, to be honest, I didn't even I didn't even know who caught Charlie Clerk was.
Me
Charlie
neither. That's what
Clerk
I was just
was,
about to say.
and until I saw what I saw on social media. So I mean, I ain't gonna say I could care less, but I didn't know who he was until what happened to him, what I saw on social media, and that's when I learned about who he was. I mean, I heard the name being thrown around here and there, but I never really like, okay, let me listen to what he's talking about or follow and see what he's talking about to pretty much have opinion of him one way or the other. But I can definitely say he wasn't no Martin Luther King. You know, he didn't. I don't agree with how they try to I guess celebrate him more or less. You know, Trump talking about have a Charlie Kirk Day, and he was able to lie a state in some political building. I'm not sure where he lied a state at. I don't think he was should have been held to that regard. You know, especially just hearing some of the snippets of what they was playing of him of his past recordings. But however, I did listen to a recording that he was talking about Trump's stand on with this Iran conflict. You know,
Mhm.
he opposed of it.
Well, he also started opposed of a lot of things that, he was big on Israel, and then close to the, end of everything, he was kind of talking against Israel, and actually was called to, in his recordings that he was called to go to Israel on demand. So it's a lot of, we got a lot of conspiracy theories and things like that. But you know, they try to put that on one side, or say one side or another, that the reason why he was murdered. You know what I'm saying? They say assassination, he was just murdered. People get murdered all the time, and not to say his is lesser than others. You know what I'm saying? But like Matt was saying, that the give lowering of the flag and things like that. Uh, I don't know, man. This he had good, like I said, and it wasn't just all bad information he was putting. It was good dialogue. If you like the things that he was putting out. But it's a lot of things that behind his murder that doesn't just make sense. And I mean, even when he got murdered, it didn't make any sense. That the stuff that the government was showing us, you know what I'm saying? So what do you think about that?
Oh man, I've learned that if you want to go down a rabbit hole, you're gonna go down it for a while. I believe he was straight up assassinated. Um, but my belief and my like for Charlie Kirk, very faith oriented first, love God, love each other, have a family, um, and then debate. Like, if you do not agree with me and my stance, I'll listen to you and then listen to me, and we'll debate it. It doesn't have to be violence. Um, I don't know where, the whole white part comes out of Charlie Kirk. He went, and his wife Erica continues right now to go after the conservative college students, um, which I think is good. I think we reached a time there for a long while where you couldn't be open about your faith. You couldn't, just stand and pray and someone not mess with you. So I think that's the movement behind Charlie Kirk is definitely faith first, as opposed to any color thing on it. Did I miss a question in there? I can't remember.
No, you good. You good.
No, that was a good response. What's going on, Soko? This is Lewis, man.
Oh man, here we go. What's up, brother?
Nah, you know, me and you came up in the ranks together, man, and congratulations on as far as you went, man. It was really great to see one of my battle buddies from my peer group excel the way that you excelled, man. And so I tip my hat to you, brother, and thank you for your service. Thank you for your service, man. You did a great job. Um, my question, or I guess not so much question, but for me to add to the conversation, I understand that we respect what Charlie Kirk did, and to be quite honest with you, I didn't have a huge problem with him per se because he was exercising his right as an American to speak his mind. My question is how you feel about the division that it seemed like he was openly and intentionally inciting amongst Americans, Christian Americans, not just Americans in general, but Christian Americans, because you know we look at quote unquote evangelistic right wing politics in this country in its current state, and we expect for that to be something of unity. And in my experience, from what I know of Charlie Kirk and people like him, that's not what he ultimately put out to the public. My question for you is how you feel about that division, and do you feel like that division has brought us to a point where we're beyond conversation now and everybody is just planting their flag in the ground and standing on their side of the line?
So, real quick, my man, the division between who
Between
and
black
what
black
flags are
Christians,
being planted?
black Christians. Oh, so for me, so I live on the East Coast, okay?
Yep.
And a
You
lot of
still in
times
New York?
Yep. People on the East Coast are
How's
often.
your mayor doing?
I don't live in the boroughs. That's all I got to say about that.
Okay, all right, my
I,
bad,
do-
brother.
I
I
don't.
cut you
I
off.
don't. I don't. I don't live in the boroughs. I
Okay.
don't live in the boroughs. The boroughs. He is the mayor of New York City. I can't say that I like the fact that he was elected, but I do understand why people feel like he needed to be elected. I won't say that I 100% because I have very conservative values. The one thing that I think that we all share on this
All right,
pod
I
right now is
completely
that
took
we
you
are,
off track, man. My bad.
yeah. But anyways, so how do you feel about that? Because it did feel like Charlie Kirk was a racially divisive person. And God bless him, it was really tragic the way that he was assassinated, because I feel like he was assassinated. And it was really tragic the way that that happened. But how do we feel about the way that he was racially divisive?
So I'm gonna hit you with something I hit one of the other members that's on this group right now. Is that fact or is that feeling?
No, I actually have some notes. I got to go find my notebook, but I actually
You gotta
took
you
notes.
gotta be prepared, man.
Yeah, you know me. I'm a note taker. I take notes. I take notes, and I don't put anything out there that could be disregarded as feeling. I don't deal with feelings. I only deal with people's actions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actions speak more than any words. But so you don't feel like he was a racially divisive person then, based on what you're saying?
I'm saying, what are the facts that you have to say that he was?
Okay, give me 2 seconds. Y'all keep up with the conversation. Let me go grab my notes. Nope, I'll go grab my notes. Thank you for that, though. I appreciate it, brother.
So Soko, this is Tony again, Howard. I
Yes,
just got
sir.
it. So while y'all was talking, or before you even got to what he was talking about, so I remember him saying that like um ending the racial segregation was a mistake. So he said the Civil Rights Act was a mistake itself also. So that to me, like I think it leans toward that he was not fully for every race because without that the removal of that with the Civil Rights Act being put in place, it gave black people more opportunity to be a full-fledged American, not a three-fifths of a person.
Oh, I agree
So
with that. I guess I didn't hear that one, Tony.
I mean,
I
you
would have to
yeah.
go back and look at it, and watch it to see what it was. But no, I think the that act was extremely important, especially for the time that we were in, and I'm guessing the '60s.
64.
Yeah,
64 when the act was approved
yeah.
and
So,
signed into law. So
um,
that's the only thing that I say. Like I said, I don't know Charlie Kirk. I never heard of him. The day he was shot and killed, whatever. I only knew about it because Deron, like I said, we worked right there together, and so he was like,
mhm,
"Man, blah blah blah, I just got shot." I was like, "Who is this?" I don't know him. I
yeah,
mean, nothing against her. I just don't delve into those conversations for me to know him. So I didn't
and
broaden my
that's
horizon. I didn't broaden my horizon because it wasn't an interest of mine, I guess. You know what I'm
no,
saying?
no worries.
So
Yeah, and I absolutely will look at what you said and look that up because I feel the same way that you do about that. And there's certain things that are enacted on certain times for the best interest of all people,
mhm.
and that's definitely one of them.
Tracking. Thanks.
which that also opened it up for other minority groups
Oh
was
yeah,
the Civil Rights Act. A lot of people forget.
absolutely.
So, do you think so do how do you feel about the like I said about the so you don't feel like he pushed that the national white national I don't know if I'm saying it right. I done heard that term so many times. The white Christian nationalists, I guess you can say it like that.
Sounds almost like white supremacist. That's terrible.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I think it is very values based Christian conservative movement. But again, I
All right, gentlemen, I'm back. I went and got my
oh
notebook. Yeah, I got my
Hold
notebooks. I
on,
got
Lou.
the quotes. Mhm.
but again, it's I only can speak on what I've seen, what I've read, what I've taken into that knowledge base for myself.
Mhm.
So it
So what
helps
is
to look
Turning
at
Point?
it from another. What's that?
What is Turning Point? What do they represent?
Christian conservative movement.
So what is a Christian conservative movement?
It
Who
is
do they
someone
target?
that. What's that?
Who do they target?
Christian conservatives.
So is that's all race or is
Yes,
that just
absolutely. If you are Christian and you have conservative values, beliefs, then absolutely,
so if I
God
was a
first.
Democrat but I was very conservative but a Democrat would I fall in that category?
Yes.
Okay.
The only way you can figure it out is just research and
No, I follow
knowledge.
Turning Point. It's a lot of money put into Turning Point. You know, I look at a lot of conspiracy theory type stuff. So,
I told you rabbit holes, man.
yeah, it's a lot of money that flows through Turning Point through other avenues of approach.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay. All right, gentlemen. So I just got a list of quotes and stuff that I watched a lot of Charlie Kirk footage. Once I found out who he was, this is probably about a year before he was assassinated. So we're gonna call it what it is. Um, January 2024, on the Charlie Kirk's show I watched January 23rd. He says, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. That's one. I'm just going to run through a couple of them. If you're a WNBA pot smoking black lesbian, do you get treated better than United States Marine? That was December 8th, 2022, on his show. The next one is happening all the time in urban America. Prowling blacks go around for fun to go target white people. That's a fact. It's happening more and more. May 19th, 2023. So with those, just those couple of statements right there, and I have a few more if we want to keep going, but um, just based on those things right there, I can't say that he was a racist. He might have been somebody that was just somebody that needed to antagonize for clicks and views because that's the society that we live in now. However, it doesn't exonerate him from making those statements. So my question for you, my good brother Jason, is based on his own words on his own show, um, do we think that Charlie Kirk was a racially divisive person? And this is before we get into JD Vance because that's a whole different thing.
I would say, what's the context before the quotes?
Okay.
Charlie Kirk was very good at being a very educated speaker, and he meant what he said. So I would just want to educate myself on what was the context of that conversation before that snippet.
Gotcha. So when I took the quotes, I can tell you at least about the black pilot stuff. Um, I watched that entire show, and the guest that he had on was talking about DEI. Now, DEI we know has been 86th in this country. So I think it was, well, I know for a fact it was a conversation regarding DEI and if he felt somebody that was a DEI hire was as qualified as somebody else who was not a DEI hire, but they had to meet the same standards. So that's where my conflict comes in because even if somebody is a DEI hire, they got to meet all the same requirements that anybody else that's not a DEI hire has to meet. So why would he say something like that about a black pilot? Why not a woman pilot, or why not a South American pilot? Why does it have to be? Why does it have to be a black pilot? You know what I mean?
No, I understand you, and I definitely can't put words in his mouth. Um, and the DEI is another, rabbit hole we can go down. Um, how are your kids doing?
Meaning what?
Lonnie. So I guess, us all being fathers now, like I
Mm-hmm.
see the gray hair around everybody. It's not just me. Our kids are grown. It's one of those things where I would love to see America as merit based. Um, I'm not saying that there's not any need for different programs. But how would you feel if your daughter did not get a scholarship because there was a Native American girl that she was better qualified for than this girl? And at the end of the day, the college needed one more Native American in their quota.
To say something to that though, the government set those systems up for a reason. Just like HBCU. A lot of people don't know that anybody can go to HBCU nowadays.
I
It
know
ain't
I'd get a
just
scholarship there. No bullshit.
yeah. I know
Yeah.
people that play football there. But those schools were set up because at the time, uh, Black Americans weren't allowed to go to other schools or didn't
Mhm.
get accepted to other schools, even if they had, like you said, merit based, because um, you know, At the time, merit based wasn't the only thing that pushed you over the, you could say merit based, but it didn't always be that way because you had more qualified people. But sometimes at them times that they created all this stuff, it came down to, hey, I'm black, he white, we're gonna accept the white guy.
I got you, but you said a big thing right there, and you said it multiple times at the time.
But had times really changed?
Yes.
Are you
No,
sure?
I don't think so.
Depends on where you live at, right?
No, I mean across the board and can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can hear you.
yeah, because I'm in my truck now. Just every last one of us are vets. And when we go, we get the upper hand for being vets. Would that be considered DEI?
I
That's a
don't
great
believe
question.
so.
Huh?
I don't believe so.
You
I
don't?
think it is. I think that we have earned that we have put our leadership, our responsibility, our creativeness out there, and we have performed, and that is something that we get a little bit of recognition for.
I think if take race and gender off of hiring application, and the best person get hired. So companies hire vets because they get funding. A certain amount of vets we get funding. A certain amount of, like you said, your kid or my kid don't get a scholarship because they already met the quota of your race and my race. Yeah, so take off
All of it.
all of it.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Me and Tony had this conversation today, exactly, and we was talking about how just us personally, like on the application, Tony had said just put naturalized citizen, foreign citizen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then you got to go through the vetting process anyway. You're gonna get seen, you're gonna get interviewed, you're gonna do all this, then let them make the decision about almost like um almost like the army should have did without the photo. Just look at my records to get promoted. If my records say
They
I
ended
need to
up
be
doing that
promoted
before I got out. I don't know if they still do it now, but they did away with
with the
that whole
DA photo
photo.
and all that,
Yeah, I mean,
yes,
still had to take it, but they just blocked it out. I'm sure they can see it. You know how it goes.
because we know promotion in the military, especially when we were in wasn't merit based. It wasn't
Man,
solely. I ain't gonna say it wasn't merit based, but it wasn't solely on merit based. You
I
know what
got
I'm
a
saying?
cousin that just made the E8 board, that just made the list.
Yeah.
And
So it might have changed over the years. You
right.
get what I'm saying? But you can look at records and be like, all right, this soldier's way probably more ahead of this soldier, but this soldier that he was ahead of still might get promoted before him. You know what I'm saying? So we can't say it was merit based.
very true. So one of the bad things and one of the tastes I had in my mouth when I was getting out of the military
Pause on that.
was was I had there was a sergeant major from 20th Engineer Brigade came down and said that if you ain't rating your soldiers 1/1 amongst the best, then you're doing them disservice. So there's those of us that believe that, if you have five people, you should rank them 1 through 5 because they've earned that. And then you have other people saying that if you want to get anyone promoted, you need to basically not hold them accountable for everything that they've done and put them, in first, second, third, fourth, fifth.
But didn't they give y'all like a certain amount of people can be like among the best or something like that after a while? You was only allotted like so many doing a rating period or something like that. I'm just trying to understand because I know it changed when I got out before I got
So
out.
it's so much different with officers. Officers are held to a way better standard than NCOs are. And it was, yes, you only get everything. However many people you rate, you get 20%. and then center mass, above center mass. And that's why I think, the officer side of it's a whole lot more cutthroat because they are being absolutely held to a standard. But it's those gray areas. It
But
is.
let me ask you, do that make that officer better than the other officer? You know what I'm saying? You can have, and we all know people like that. You can have people that's among the best, but don't mean they the best leader.
I would say no.
They might
I
be
would say no.
better in PT, you know, not to name some people. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree with you. I see where you're coming from.
Yeah. So it's when we talk about merit based, it's throughout, but the government set that in place, for certain things, for colleges and and those laws are passed by both sides. So a lot of people lose track of that. They think everything just, one-sided, but it's not.
Mm,
They come together and pass these laws. I think we
I
getting away
agree.
from the full picture of everything.
I agree. No, you're not wrong in what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, man. So let's segue from politics. Um, however, Soko, you asked me, you had a question for me, or you wanted me to do, have a certain Bible verse. I got my Bible verse.
Yes, I did, my man.
Yeah,
I did. I asked you to come up with a verse of the day, and say kind of what it means in your words, and that's a great way to end a show.
okay, well, we ain't gonna end it right then, right? Let me
Oh
see.
shit.
Well,
Okay.
we've been on about an hour. I want to respect everybody's time. We don't want to hold you too long. But um, I do appreciate you being civil. We can all agree to disagree. We can all agree, to be civil, be respectful, and still voice our opinions, like men supposed to be able to do. Like leaders should be able to do. Um, I have a certain. I want to invite some more people on, but I really don't want to invite them on because of how they conduct themselves. And you probably know who I'm talking about.
We gotta
Nope,
bring
I
everybody
am
on. Everybody need
completely
to toe the line.
blindsided.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. We understand. Listen. We. The biggest problem is that some people drink too much of the Kool-Aid. You see, we are right now having a very civil conversation amongst men, amongst people that have served together, and people that understand really what's going on geopolitically. Right? We all understand what's going on. We understand what's going on at home. Some people don't seem to fully understand what's going on at home. They focus a lot on the geopolitics, but they don't really focus on what's going on at home. And when you find yourself in that position, you end up saying things that are divisive. And we don't listen.
Mm.
We don't give a damn. You could be divisive, right? If you say whatever you want to say, it is your right as an American to speak your mind and say what you want to say. But part of that is dealing with the consequences that comes with speaking your mind, right? That's part of being American too. Yeah, you can speak your mind, but you also got to deal with the consequences of what it is that you're saying. Now, that could be a good consequence, could be a bad consequence, whatever the case is. But you know, I think some people just don't have enough decorum, or they forgot the decorum that they learned while we all served together. We bypassed race, gender, and all that stuff when we served together. It was
No,
the green.
I
We saw the
absolutely
green.
agree. I do, and Lewis, my man, I think one of the things that we can say is we all kind of grew up a little bit rough. That's here in this group, and people have gotten way too comfortable with putting things out on social media, and not getting punched in the mouth for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So no, I agree with you, my man. I understand where you're coming from. It's frustrating because you can kind of see people on social media, whether they're race baiting or whether they're, throwing that divided question out there. But man, social media at the end of the day is just entertainment, and you got to learn how
Yep,
to unplug from that and focus on, the consequences of the real world, because what they put on social media, they ain't gonna do out there in the streets.
that's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah. This conversation is a lot more civil than I expected it to be.
Well,
Oh
But
and,
man,
and to Matt, you know, even if we think that those guys would come on and be, you know, I don't think they'd be hostile, you know what I'm saying, or whatever.
It's not hostile.
Or
It's just the way you talk.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not
Energy
really it's
drain,
not
energy drain. That's what
Yeah.
yeah,
the
Well,
sometimes it's some of it is just be ignorance.
yeah.
I don't deal well with ignorant people. You know what I'm
But
saying?
we a group of many, man. We can, we can control the narrative anyways.
Hmm.
And I think we bring everybody, anybody on, So Soko, before we change over though, what
hit
is
me.
what's your outlook on President Trump and some of the
Go
promises
deeper
that
into that. That's such a vague question. Get
I'm
specific
getting
with
to it.
me,
I'm
my
getting
man.
to it. And some of the promises that he made in the beginning, meaning uh, you know, the administration of peace, the
I
uh,
couldn't hear you. You cut out on that last part, man.
like being an administration of peace, things like that, which is current events, now. As a soldier that been to a
Is it
war
me? Can I
torn,
not hear anybody, or is it everybody?
can everybody hear?
Yeah, I hear
Yeah,
you.
I hear you for it.
I hear you, 40. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it might be you, Soko.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Yeah, we can
Okay,
hear you.
my bad.
You can hear us?
Hearing aid, man. We getting old. Fucking hearing aid.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Right
That's a
on.
hearing
Okay,
aid, or
so
is that
ain't
an
no we.
earplug from a construction site?
I'm not gonna lie. My
Yeah.
body hurts when I get out of bed. So, my bad, 40. Go ahead. Say the last of that again.
I'm just saying, like being, some of the things that he said he stood for, draining the swamp, being the administration of peace, no wars, no blah blah blah. And I know we're gonna have conflicts and operations going on, but as a soldier that were in war torn countries, uh, and seeing the effects of no leadership within those countries.
Mhm.
How do you think, and that's just, because that's current event right now. I mean, but it was other things that he promised, like I said, like draining the swamp, like, you know, prices, gas prices, but we know the economy thing, with the tariffs and things like that. What's your outlook on that?
Um. Okay, so with the current event with Iran, I think it's been a 49-year war against us, since what, 1979, when they held for the hostages for 444 days.
Mm,
You're right. We were there in Iraq, and we saw how happy those people were. I think most of y'all went to Bosnia,
mm,
and saw just same thing I saw in Kosovo, where two groups of kids don't even know why they hate each other. They just hate them. In Iran, like the supreme leader, at the end of every message, it was, death to Israel, death to America. Like, they're not messing around with that. Like, they are straight, like, we are the enemy. So I think that war's been going on a long time. I think that we do not need to put boots on ground. I think it is something that um, helps the people if we learned our lessons from what happens when we go over there to Iraq, and don't put someone in charge, or they don't elect somebody, because it was just years and years and years of tribal fighting where they didn't care just as long as they had power. The drain the swamp thing, I thought that when Elon and his group came in. It was great. They were exposing a whole lot of stuff. I personally think that Elon saw that the problem in the swamp was much more deeper rooted than he could ever fix. I saw a lot of people get upset that they were finding some of these waste, fraud, and abuse, kind of like Minnesota right now. Instead of being mad as taxpayers, like, we're really wasting all this money on this. And then the tariffs, I'm all for that one as well. If we can eliminate, say, our national debt by other countries paying us what we're paying them, then I don't think it is a losing situation at all.
Let me interject real quick right there
Hit
on
me.
one point on the tariff point. Um, I won't say how I know because we're recording this, but I do know for a fact that the tariff situation, those expenses get directly given to the American consumers. So while we think that a tariff is something that we are imposing on another country, what we don't realize is that we receive so many goods from that country that that country will now raise the price on all their goods in our country. So tariffs don't really mean, if you look at a tariff, let's just say a container that comes into a dock is $13,000. And then the United States of America decides that we're going to make the price for that container from $13,000 to $22,000 or $23,000 now.
Okay.
Now, the country that uses our port system that brings those goods in at $13,000 a container and is being charged $23,000 is going to raise the price on those products 20 to 21%, which is now going to raise the price higher than it would have been on any other circumstance prior to this tariff coming in. So who's really getting screwed there?
So you're gonna love my analogy on this one. It's the middle class, because the middle class is the consumers. You
Absolutely.
got the elite that are sitting there and they are making these products or selling these products. But we as consumers, they need us. That's why we're still stuck in this middle class to consume everything. I haven't really seen, since the tariffs started, anything skyrocket in price. Um, but it made me realize, like, maybe I don't need all that stuff for Christmas for people. Like, we need to stop consuming just crap to have crap.
Yeah, but the problem is if we stop consuming, imagine if every American thought the way that you thought and we stopped consuming, our economy would collapse. We need Americans to continue to consume. If we stop consuming, our economy on a whole will collapse.
That's why we need to be more self-supportive, man.
To be quite, let's be honest about that as well. We have at least 120 years supply of oil that we can drill under our own country. The problem is that we don't want to deal with the environmental conditions, that's why we don't drill in all the parts of our country that we can drill in.
No, but we did allow fracking and drill, baby, drill.
Exactly. Once we did that, yeah, but the thing with that is, no, I agree with you. There was a bill passed to do that, but the people that it would really affect would not be affected for 10 years. So by the time Drill Baby Drill is actually implemented, there will be a whole other regime in place that will be completely green, which is going to now flip everything that was just put into place. And then we're going to be fighting for 10 more years before we can put the green shit in place. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I do. And it's just a continuous cycle of screwing the American
which is
class
why we,
working
the people, like you said, the middle class in this country, the power stands with the people. It doesn't matter what your fucking race is. Excuse my language, Matt, edit that out. but it doesn't matter what your race is.
We
It
live.
does not matter what your race is. It doesn't. It doesn't. We got to keep it real. And guys like us that sit in groups like this are going to be the leaders in the next generation. While we watch other people be the leaders, because we think the way that we think, we're going to be the leaders in the next generation. Every one of us works in a sector that we can be a leader in.
So speaking of the sector, that's what I wanted to get in. Soko, you work for BB, right? I want to say their name like that.
Thank you.
Right. You work for BB. That's a
I
very
do.
strong outfit. They're here.
Top
Yeah,
10 in the world.
yeah, they're here. I once was working for a top 10 GC as well. However, I did see that the economy kind of changed the way, or a lot of these investors that invested into our projects, joint ventures, was kind of like backing out. So, and I do think that's a direct reflection of the economy, the tariffs. Even now, I'm an inspector for one of the municipalities here in Florida, and I get to go in some high-end new construction housing, and some of the material that I've seen in there. And I asked the contractor, "Hey, why y'all using this instead of that?"
Mm.
And their answer is, "Tariffs hit, man. This is what we could afford. The owner agreed to it, and we rock with it." So I do think that it is affecting the economy, man, because you can gauge the economy by construction.
Oh,
And so,
absolutely.
and I'm
Absolutely.
saying that to say, so obviously what B&B, they're pretty strong there in Savannah, and what pretty much what y'all do, just hospitals.
No. So, man, they do rail, they do infrastructure, they do housing.
Okay.
So, like English Channel, that was BB. Golden Gate Bridge, that was BB.
Okay.
So they got their hands in everything.
Okay. So basically they're diverse.
Yes.
So a lot of GCs that are not diverse, that are just into one particular sector inside of the construction industry, it's almost like stocks. You can't just get uh, um, put all your eggs in one basket, because when Tesla goes down, your stuff is going to go down. So you probably have to, you get like an ETF that covers all that, kind of like help balance out that particular sector, or whatever. But it is so, luckily for BNB, y'all are very diverse and able to segue from different, because I'm sure certain sectors in BNB is not doing so well based off of tariffs, and probably whatever you're in charge of now is, hey, it's a need, because I see now, even in construction, a lot of people that if they got people with money, they're going to buy. You know what I'm saying? They still going to invest. Some of them, not all of them, but I do think that the economy is kind of like, finna take a nosedive because of what's going on, and it might finna take a nosedive because of what's going on over there in the Middle East. So we just gotta wait to see how that plays out. But I know it's a lot of people that are struggling financially that can't afford it. They gotta make decisions in the grocery store. Eggs. Eggs are very expensive. Bread, milk, just even it's just a lot of necessities that you have to go out there and buy that are very expensive. And you know, like I'm taking care of my mom right now, and I have to take my mom to the grocery store, and I have to tell my mom, hey, that's expensive right now. Let's get the powder version.
You're a terrible son, man. If you
Nah, she like to get Boost. And I don't know if you ever price Boost. Boost is expensive. So, you know, for her protein, she needs to eat protein. She needs more
Yeah.
That boost
protein.
is expensive.
So, so I tell, hey, mama, you know, we can go get the powder version of protein. You know, is you know, you just gotta put it in your water or your juice or your milk or whatever. But she liked the boost, but the boost is for a case of boost is about like 20 some dollars, and I'd be like, and she drink like 3 a day. So I'd be like, hey, we gotta get you the tub.
Hey man, we gotta tell your mama be like, hey, you made me drink that powder milk back in the
I
day.
know.
Oh
Right.
man.
Talk about it, man. Talk about it. Talk about it,
Uh,
man.
Yeah, man. But see, and this, you know, this is the type of interaction that we like right here, man, where we can, you know, we can agree to disagree, or we can understand your point of view on things, you know, and still have fun, because bottom line, this is how we interacted in the military. You know,
oh, absolutely.
we all didn't agree or whatever. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go to jog down memory lane. I remember
Oh man.
one afternoon, late afternoon, PFC Soko, Special Soko came back from a mission or whatever. You was ready to go to bed, and I had some. You remember? You know where I'm going. I had some. What I had, the tent poles or something.
Yep.
And we was in the NCO room beating them, and you was kind of upset because we was keeping you woke. And you was yelling, "Hey, y'all stop it there!" And the more you yelled at us or telling us to stop, the more we kept going, the louder we kept going. And your battle buddy was laughing, so the more he was laughing, it kind of egged us on to keep doing it. But I will apologize, and I'm sorry for disturbing your sleep.
Oh no, that's why I decided that I needed to put my head down and fast track so I didn't have to ask y'all, and if I was asking y'all, I was kind of telling y'all at the end of my career.
Right.
Motherfuckers.
Hey, so speaking of that, so I'm gonna go to another incident, one of me and your personal interaction. I'm gonna see if you remember this.
Oh man.
Um, I was standing on the bridge. You was in your boat, and you was going through like your duffel bag, or so you were searching for something. And I want to say, didn't your boat flood or flip over or something like that? And you lost some of your gear.
Yeah, I lost gear. I lost the AT4.
Yep, I remember you lost the AT4, but you wasn't worrying about that AT4. You wasn't worrying about that AT4. You was looking in your bag. You was looking for one particular item.
My CDs.
No, you weren't looking for no CD. You probably was looking for your CD, but you kept stressing
One particular item.
one particular
Oh man,
item.
this is gonna bite me there.
Yeah, because you probably ain't got it, and you should have it right now.
The oh man, you talking about this?
No.
Oh man, then I'm screwed. What was
Okay,
I
now,
looking
well,
for?
no, you know, it was we had. Remember, we had just it was a general that came and visited us on the bridge site. One that many of us out there, and I think it was a 2-star, 3-star. I don't know who it was. I forgot who it was, but they
Oh,
gave
the
us.
coin I got from him?
Yeah, where's the coin?
Yep,
You got it.
I do. I do.
You lost your coin,
And you gave me yours,
and
brother.
I gave you mine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, as long as you still got it, that's what you know.
I do. I do.
All right.
And that
Okay.
was one of those things where I don't know, man. You looked at me. I probably had like tears in my eyes and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And no, that was a great example of leadership. It really was because I was a little younger than you, and
Yeah.
it meant a lot.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Well, I mean, okay, so we've been on an hour already, man. This is already a lot of footage for me to go back and edit. So we can, so Soko, we kind of do these every Tuesday. This is our first time going live.
Nice.
This is our first time going live, and most of the time we do come on here. It's non-script, and pretty much this was non-script except for the first questions that we did ask. So I do think it went pretty well. I don't know how it fared out on the other social media platforms, but I will chop it up. Like I said, we've been recording for over an hour now, about an hour and a half. And I don't think this whole long video can fit on.
Well, it's also because y'all on Black people time, and all y'all were fucking late.
Nah, my computer. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, man. I couldn't. For some reason, my computer I had to reboot my computer.
That was hilarious, bro.
Yeah. I ain't worried about that, man.
Hey, you gonna end it with the Bible verse though?
Thank you for being comfortable. Thank you for being comfortable with us, bro. We appreciate it. We really appreciate it, man.
So, I appreciate it, y'all. No, so before you close it out, Matt, no, I really do, man. Y'all know it's really nothing but love, and at one time, all y'all were mentors to me in my life, and with with Booth there, we may have different opinions on a lot of stuff, but at the end of the day, they say army's all green, army's all green. I really do wish the best for y'all and y'all kids, because man, they getting grown, even though Dirty Rice won't say that he's getting old. We all get fucking old. But no, I appreciate it, y'all, man. I really do. This was a great time, and thank y'all for having me.
Hey, and thank you for coming on, man. We appreciate it. We enjoyed the conversation. Definitely, we appreciate it, man. And like I said, we do this every week on Tuesdays. Sometimes throughout the week, if we just want to get on and meet. Is there anything that you kind of want to promote, or you got anything going on, or you got any type of information that can help out other veterans, or is there anything that you would like to expand on, outside of what we just talked about?
So I'll just say, for the veterans, I'm sure y'all experienced this as much as I did. It's when you do get out, it is expanding and kind of trying to verbalize your actions, abilities, campaigns in the military into civilian talk. And it's kind of hard to say, how do you perform under pressure, or can you? It's like, well, I returned fire, after we took IDF. So it's really just, getting out there and learning how to talk the civilian lingo. And then at the end of the day, courage is the key to life itself. If you can imagine it, you can do it.
All right, that's what we're talking about. So, my Bible verse that I chose for this particular segment episode, it comes from the book of Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. And the reason why I chose that is because, like I asked you at the beginning, come from a personal experience with your thoughts, with your dialogue, and not from somebody else's. And also speak with facts, because it's a lot of things that I see on Facebook that people are saying about Obama, about Trump, about whoever you know, and I'm not gonna say nothing about it. I go do my research. I'm gonna go fact check. It's just like being in the military. You know, in order to set a standard, you gotta know the standard. In order to correct somebody, you gotta know you gotta be on point before you go step to anybody and try to correct them. So, and that's why I chose that particular Bible verse. You know, don't just trust your understanding. You have to go do research and fact check everything that you talk about. So, with that being said,
Amen.
thank you much. You got a Bible verse? You want to share a Bible verse?
No, I left it completely on you, man.
Okay.
I was gonna. I had one,
You
but
had
you know
one?
what? You stole the show, man. I'll take it with that. That's a good word of the day. I like that interpretation
All
of it.
right, man. So next time we're gonna come on, man. We're gonna talk about sports or something else, man.
Yeah.
At least with you, you know, a new
Yeah,
guest.
yeah.
You know, we'll talk politics or whatever, but we gonna. It's no need to keep beating a dead horse or talking about politics. But we can, we can still talk about real world situations and what's going on. But we're not going to let that be the entirety of the show, man. Because
Oh, no worries. I know that Miami loss is still a little fresh in your mind.
All right, listen.
well, we
At the end
gave
of the
that.
show,
We
at the end of
gave
the
that.
show,
We gave that.
Matt, we should stop recording at this point.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Yeah,
stop streaming.
if we're going,
Stop
let's
streaming.
stay on, but let's stop streaming and recording.
All right. Our audience out there on our social media platform, we just concluded our peeling back the onion with Jason Soko. Feel free to comment in the comment section, and we will respond. And thank y'all for coming on and watching.
So at the end of,
keep going. You can talk, boo.
So I was gonna say at the end of every show, Soko, we end with toe the line. We all say toe the line.
Toe the line.
Toe the line.
Toe the line.
Toe the line.